Mate, it's legit fucked. I've absolutely fucked it. I haven't been able to talk all day. And I shit you not, I came home and my nose was bleeding. I think I gave myself an aneurysm. But fuck me, was it a good day, Ricky? Thank you very much for including me again. It means a shitload to me. So, yeah, thanks again and well done.
Hello and welcome to the Bodysurf podcast with your Budgy Boys, Tim, Woofo and Jesse, and we're here. It's Mad Thursday. It's a very random public holiday here in Australia because of the Queen's death a few weeks ago. We're having a day of mourning today and the entire nation gets a day off. Perfect timing for us because we're about to let a few rip because we are celebrating third place at the Australian Bodysurfing Classic. The Budgy Boys, local boys done good. We brought it home to Cronulla for some very, very unusual reasons, but boy did it pay off. Woofo and Jesse, welcome to the show. How are you guys doing?
I'm still on a high.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. But the best.
The best. Jesse,
disbelief is probably the best word to describe it because my jaw hit the ground when we were announced third. And so, as you said, we mourn the death of our queen today. Our queen? Do we say our queen?
It's our queen.
Yeah, our queen. But we celebrate the best ever finish of the Budgy Boys. I mean, I'm so excited I can't even talk. At Wompoff, the Australian Bodysurfing Classic, as it's now known.
Now, we're going to go through all the details of the big day. It was spectacular. The 17th of September, 2022.
Mark the date.
Never forget it. Allura Beach, never forget. Allura Beach, what a show. The big show, they turned it on for us. The gods were really in our favour. They call it God's country, and boy, it was on Saturday. Beautiful day. The storm just surrounded us and never really hit us. We were protected by these big grey clouds that just kept circling. I got a little bit of rain. We were broadcasting the day and the equipment didn't even get that wet. So we were very lucky because we've had some bad weather in the past. Also, surf conditions were pretty good. Wompoff and the Australian Bodysurfing Classic in the past has always had sort of interesting surf conditions. There were some rollers coming through. There were some sets coming through. There was some big old faces that people were getting on, and we'll go through and analyse the day a bit more. You can always go back and watch what happened. There's 7 hours of footage up there from the day, live rolling coverage with Belly Slater and lead commentary, and it's spectacular. We've also put together a highlight reel of that day, and we'll be getting that up very soon. But before we get into the Australian Bodysurfing Classic 2022 at Cronulla Beach, that was a few days ago. It was just a few days ago. We're still celebrating. Time is such a weird concept and construct when you're just absolutely on a tour of glory. So we should take a step back, go a bit back, go down memory lane and discuss what happened in the lead up. We had Womp Week here on the Bodysurf podcast, a bit of a tradition we've had, Woofo, for a while, and Jesse Mawson, you've been a big part of Womp Week for the last few years, where we try and do a podcast every day, and this year we did something really fun. Monday we had Mulga the artist on, and we did we promoted the competition where we gave away an amazing print of Barry the body surfing koala, which you can see behind us. Then Tuesday, it was, who did we have on Tuesday? I can't even remember. I think Owie and myself went live on Instagram, and we had a bit of a drop-in from cute boy Corey Sainsbury and Dane Torres from Team Defin Hawaii.
Was that the day the big news broke of the location switcheroo?
It actually was, yeah. That was the day. So Tuesday was the day that all that news came off, and Owie and I got on and had a bit of a chat about that. That was great. And then Wednesday, Finn Padman, local boy, a Grom boy, a North Cronulla legend who knows Cronulla Beach very well, came on and gave us a bit of a swell update, what we might be able to expect on the day. And then Thursday, I drove to Thirroul and caught up with the captain of the Bay Body Bashers, Nick Brabot, and we did a quick little live stream with Nick Brabot to get everything sort of hyped up for the big day. And then Friday,
we had the live show.
The big live show. This was great. We didn't sell many tickets But we somehow packed it out. So I think a few people bought tickets on the night, and we also snuck a few people in because we had a red hot crowd. It was unbelievable how good this crowd was. And Finn Padman, who's not only a very good surfer and a body surfer, very good comedian, opened the show. What do you think of Finn Padman's opening set?
Yeah, it was... he had some high highs and some low lows, let's be honest. The one about the iced magic left a little bit to be desired. But overall, mate, it was a fantastic show. The comedian you had at the end...
John Cruikshank.
The electrician.
Yeah.
From Redfern. He killed it. Amazing. But obviously the highlight was both you and Owie being up there in front of a live crowd. And it was great to be a part of the audience.
Yeah, thanks for coming along. And a big shout out to everyone that came. There was some unusual faces in the crowd. Some people weren't body surfers, some people were old friends, some people were open mic comedians, and then we had the crew that were ready to compete the next day. So it was a very eclectic crowd, and everyone that was in the audience has gone in the draw to win the slide handboard. We thought it would be in bad taste to give away a slide handboard at the Australian Bodysurfing Classic, especially because it is proudly put on by War Hand Planes. So we've put everyone's name into a hat. Everyone that bought a ticket for the live show on Friday, they're going to go in the draw to win that slide handboard. And I'm really hoping, Jesse, that someone that's never body surfed before wins it.
That would be fantastic because, as you said, there were a lot of comedians standing up the back. But I thought what was really good about the night was just to see people who had flown in for the competition come. They were getting hyped up. They were at the live show. They really made an event of it. And so it was great to have them there. Just everyone coming together. And it was really that great kickoff party to what was an awesome weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great time, and I ran off at the end and did a few extra little sets. There at the moment, the Sydney Fringe Festival's on, and there's a lot of shows going on. So I got to go on stage, and I got to perform in front of Belly Slater, who is a comedy enthusiast and wants to do stand-up himself, and we got a little sneak peek of some of his jokes. What did you think of his... He opened the show, really. He brought Finn on, and he had a joke about doing jiu-jitsu, which... what do you think?
Yeah, I mean...
Wolfo, you give us an opinion. You listened to it back.
I did listen to it, but I wasn't there, so I feel like I was a bit behind the pace. But yeah, no, Belly was great. You know when you watch like the comedy specials and there's always these comedians who... They're musicians and they walk out with their little piano or keyboard.
Or a ukulele.
Or a ukulele, yeah. Well, I think that's what Belly should be looking at because... Him behind the keys is next level.
Whoa, what is it good for? Slabs and pits and frothing, apparently.
He's putting out an album soon, I believe, and it's going to be just the body surfing hits from the body surfing stories, I guess. So, yeah, Belly Slater, absolute legend. Thanks for the support. And then we all got a pretty good sleep because that night wrapped up very early.
Yeah, we couldn't stay out too late because we had an early morning the next day.
The live show started at 6 p.m, so we were done by 7 and ready for bed. And I was so excited, and I've heard this story mirrored a few times. Most people couldn't sleep. Most people couldn't sleep the night before the Australian Bodysurfing Classic. Ace from Team Defin Hawaii, also from Slide Handboards, he was up so early. It was like Christmas Day for him. And I was the same. I got about 3 or 4 hours sleep and I was up and I was straight at the beach. I wanted to check out what was happening at Cronulla. And I got to see the sunrise and it was beautiful. And the water looked amazing.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when you set your alarm and you know you've got a big event coming up the next day. I think I set my alarm for 5:30, but I was up at 5 o'clock and I'm like, no, I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
I'm getting down there.
What time were you there, Wolfo?
My alarm went off at 5. We had Daryl, one of the Budgy Boys. He drove down from Nimbin the night before, and he said to me, I'll park outside your house, and when you see me at the front, just come out the front, and we'll go. And he said, you'll be there about 5. So I set my alarm for 5, and I've got my security camera at the front, and I've looked, so I'm like, oh, he's still not here. Snooze for 15 minutes. Had a look again. Still not here. Snoozed again. Then I've started having to think I've got to go pack the car. And as I've walked out, I've realised he's parked his car 2 houses up and he was there for like 45 minutes before I walked out. So, sorry, Daryl.
Was he sleeping in the car?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have got much sleep, because he
said
did
he
a big trek down.
He pulled over for 2 hours and slept in the car in a truck stop.
Yeah, nice.
We're lucky you didn't fall asleep out in the surf, to be
We're
fair.
very lucky, yeah.
That could have been a trick, having a nap on a wave. So the competition started with everyone just doing their check-ins. What was that part, Wolfo?
Just a little registration.
Registration, yep.
Just making sure everyone got their bags with their goodies. And
6:30, everyone had their shirt on. The place smelt like AS colour. Smelt real good. Fresh shirts, I love it. And everyone was wearing their shirt. Everyone was checking out the beach. Some people were still setting up. And we were in the water by what time? Around 7:30?
Yeah, 7:30, heat one.
Great way to start the morning, having the individuals.
And Timmy, you were the first surfer in the water, I believe.
Well, didn't we have an individual first?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we did. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so we had Dan surfing for us in the first heat of the day. Went pretty well.
Yeah, Dan, the Lone Wolf from Lone Wolf Handboards or Handplanes, and he's a new recruit to the Budgy Boys, but an absolute legend, and I think he's going to be part of the canon for a long time. Part of the Budgy Boy cinematic universe. Because the guy's an absolute legend, and I've surfed more with him than anyone else in the Budgy Boys.
Yeah, well, to be fair, like, this goes down in history for the Budgy Boys. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to us, and so Dan's name goes down in the history books.
That's right. Now, I want to be very careful and I want to be very clear, because when we were awarded third place, as we've all mentioned, we were not ready for it.
No.
But there were a lot of comments coming out saying, oh, here we go. We're never going to hear the end of this. So I don't want to carry on too much, but fucking hell. We came third.
Yeah, mate, if you're not going to carry on about it, I will. I'll talk about this for years to come.
We were beaten by the Cobras, my favourite club in the body surfing scene here in Australia. The boys from Avalon, who I haven't spoken to that much, but I got to know a little bit more at the after party. They're my favourite club of all time. These guys are just absolute legends, but absolute crazy nutbags when it comes to surfing. These guys go some big waves, and they say everything they do is for the Cobras, and I respect that so much, because I feel like that's similar to the Budgy Boys. Everything we do is for the Budgy Boys, so it's so nice to see a club like that just absolutely thrash it out there. However, it's the third or fourth time they've come second.
Yeah, third time in a row. Bridesmaids.
So we'll talk a bit about the fin sprint and how that sort of finalised some of the scoring, and then we were also beaten by Defin Hawaii, who obviously came first. And well done, congratulations to Defin Hawaii, who had a very different team this year because of COVID, flight restrictions, and personal stuff, I'm guessing, if people weren't able to get to Cronulla, get to Sydney, get to Australia, because it's a big trip from Hawaii. It's a huge commitment, so totally understandable that some people weren't able to get here. But it meant they made up a team of a few recruits, a few interesting recruits, and it looked like it paid off because number one again.
Yeah, they take things to a whole new level, and it's good. It's good because it makes everyone try that bit harder, and I guess, try and reach for the stars, as they say.
I guess for me, thinking about it, when you look at those top two teams, when you look at Defin Hawaii and you look at the Cobras, I feel like we went as high as we possibly could.
Yeah.
Because they are on another level. They're the next step up, doing stuff that we haven't even thought of. And so I'm over the moon with our result, because to me, they're untouchable.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking before we came on air. We could have done better. I only caught 2 waves the whole day, and they were shockers. And I'm embarrassed, and I apologise for not performing well. But for some reason, I don't perform well in competitions. I went back out and had a surf freestyle and was shredding. But the pressure of the competition gets to you, and you don't want to let the boys down. But it's a psychological game, and if you get in your own head, you're in big trouble. And the advice I gave to Gareth after I cooked up real bad was just go out there and surf. Don't worry about longest ride. Don't worry about tricks, because that stuff will happen if you're not thinking about it. Yeah. If you just go out there and surf like you normally would, you're going to catch some good waves, because that's what body surfing is all about, trying to catch good waves, trying to do longest ride, trying to do tricks. So if you don't think about, I've got to do this, you'll just freestyle and have way more fun. So I do apologise for kooking it pretty badly, but luckily it didn't affect us too much because you guys were able to pick us up a bit. But I think we could have scored a lot higher. And luckily we didn't need to. Luckily we got over the line without doing that. I think not doing that great, but big ups to Owie, the captain of the Budgy Boys. This guy, bleeds blue and pink. He got us absolutely over the line, put his body on the line many times throughout the day. And, he's been steering this ship since day one, and so proud of this guy. And this is all he's ever wanted, and he's done it. We have to talk about the fin sprint soon. Let's go through the rest of the day. So we had the individual comp at the start. That went straight into the trick section, which is every member of the team. You've got about an hour, and everyone's got to get wet. Everyone gets, about 4 waves?
Maximum 4 waves. Best wave counts.
And so it's a bit of a time game. You've got to work out how long you want each person in the water. And I've always just said, I'll get in and out. I'll let everyone have more time. What sort of tricks were we seeing out there?
I think your best trick that you pulled, Timmy, was get in, pretend that you got a really good wave, and get out before the judges noticed what happens. So the judges are up there going, "Oh, Budgy Boys are swapping. Well, did they catch a wave? He's cheering. He must have got a good one.
The crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild. Let's give it a 4.
My trick was wearing sunglasses in the water and hoping they wouldn't fall off. I actually did have to hold them onto my head because they were slipping a bit. I did one spin. I don't know if anyone saw it, and it only carried through a little bit into the wash, so not a great scoring wave, but there were some front flips happening out there. I don't think anyone got a front flip and then continued the ride. They fell off the back most of the time.
I think so, yeah.
So in the past, we've seen some people continue to ride through a front flip, which is incredible. So no front flips. We did see a lot of spins onto waves.
Hey, no, I have to step in there because some of the Hawaiians busted them out.
But did they land them?
Yes, they did. They did, and kept on going.
Okay.
Go back, watch the footage.
We'll go back and watch
I can't
it.
tell you exactly who it was, but I'm pretty sure Kiali'i landed one.
Great.
I saw some 360 belly spins.
Belly spins are the new front flips.
I reckon it's harder.
These things are a lot harder to pull off. They look impressive, and a lot of people have been practicing them. So it was great to see some of them. I liked seeing some people do a bit of a face cut. Some people were carving on a face.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. Now, it wasn't too full on because remember, you're dragging your body behind. You're not like a shortboard surfer where you're flying through this wave and barely even on it. You're dragging your whole body behind. So to do a cut on a face with a hand plane or board is very tricky. So I did see some stuff like that and was very impressed with it. Moving on, we then go to... What was
The second individual heat.
Longest ride.
Longest ride, I think, came straight up.
No, second individual heat was before
Okay.
longest ride. Because I remember Owie was absolutely spent after his individual heat going into that longest ride. And in talking about Owie, and you mentioned him earlier, but his individual heat, he finished third for his heat, but he got one wave. He caught it right from out the back, busted several little spinners on it. I think that was the best wave I've ever seen Owie caught. So he's a big game player. He's come to the stage and he's gone, I'm going to perform today. And he really came out and just did us all proud.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll try and catch up with Owie soon to get his thoughts on this. But again, are people going to be annoyed at us if we keep carrying on for the next few months? There's only a few months till the rest of the year. We normally take a big break soon. So...
Yeah.
I'm keen to just put this to bed, celebrate in our own way. Today is Mad Thursday for us, so we'll probably be going out later and carrying on. But yeah, Owie, well done, champion. Then we went from individual to the tricks.
Longest ride.
Oh, we've already done tricks, so longest ride. This is my favourite event.
Yeah.
And what I found interesting was some people were showing off and doing tricks in the longest ride section.
It was a bit unnecessary.
That's just the Hawaiian showboating.
Hey, if you can do it, do it. If you can flaunt it, flaunt it. So I was confused by it, but I liked watching it. Again, I didn't catch a very long one. I reckon I was on for 3 or 4 seconds, tops. What was the longest ride we saw in the longest ride section?
I heard 19 seconds.
I think it was Ace Davies, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, all right. Okay.
That is correct. 19 seconds by Ace Davies.
And that was achieved by catching a wave out the back, getting on the face, and then getting the follow through.
He went out where everyone was surfing that right-hander, and I think he got a left. And he just rode it all the way to the shore dump.
And he did it last competition as well.
did, same
so
thing.
it's not a fluke. he's good. He keeps doing it and he keeps producing on the day.
So how long do you reckon it was? 18, 19?
Oh, we'll have to look back at the footage.
But that's great. That would have scored very highly for Defin Hawaii. So well done, Ace. A great little signing. Only 12 years old.
I was surprised how young he still is. I thought that last time...
Because it's also been 2 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought he was much older. He's growing up, but still only 12.
Yeah.
So a great little signing there. Do they get the bonus points for that?
They do.
Yeah, well done, Defin. And they also...
They didn't need it.
No.
Yeah, true. But at least they're very inclusive and getting some people that will help them out in the long run and building up the next generation. Bait Bay also signed a female water polo player. I think it was their second time in the water. Second time catching waves.
They had a few newbies.
Yeah.
So that was really encouraging to see and to see that Bait Bay are doing something a bit different as well. So
Yeah, well, they had a late withdrawal and they pulled a mate down who was just coming to watch for the day and they said, no, you're jumping in the water. So
he was from
kid up.
overseas somewhere, I believe. I think it was the first time ever body surfing.
Yes, first time ever body surfing. I have no details about who the bloke was.
He got a wall badfish at the presentation.
He did.
Nice. And we also saw the three Brabot brothers in the Bait Bay Body Bashers, which I've never seen before, and we were told that wasn't going to happen. So we had Nick as captain, we had Luke in the team, and we also had the young bloke Mark in the team. And I had a good chat to Mark, and he absolutely is loving it, but he's pretty new to the sport as well. So it's great. There's a new generation of Brabot coming out because Nick's not got long with us. So it's good that there's one right around the corner ready to go. I really want to talk about the fin sprint. Let's get into this because this is the big event of the day.
Yeah.
And I was so happy I didn't have to run. But I'm also now sad that we did so well and I wasn't involved. But I think they did so well because I wasn't involved. So Belly Slater called it. They'll be putting that up soon for you guys to watch. It's incredible footage. We need to probably do some replays. We need to probably slow it down. In third place in the fin sprint, it was
Defin Hawaii.
Defin Hawaii, who came first a few years ago at Maroubra.
Yeah, I believe they won the last one.
So it's funny that you mentioned this because the top three teams on the day all finished in the top three spots in the fin sprint.
And the fin sprint for Hawaii in 2019 at Maroubra won it for them.
It did.
They only beat the Cobras by a fin sprint. So in second place in the fin sprint was the Budgy Boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Who was in the team, Wolfo? Who was in the fin sprint team for the Budgy Boys?
Okay, so we had Harry from up on the Gold Coast. We had a couple of ring-ins, actually.
Can we talk what fins they ran in as well?
Yeah, of
that's,
course.
That's
of
the
course.
important
That
stuff.
it's critical. So Harry, did he start?
Yes.
I think he did.
Yes, he did.
So Harry wearing yuccas ran first, tagged with
Dan,
Dan.
the lone wolf.
Dan also wearing yuccas. Then we went into Joel wearing Leblon fins from France.
Which are not
are-
a fin sprinting fin.
Which are meter-long diving flippers.
yeah. Which have hard rails like
And he's
right
not
up the side.
And he's a little guy too. He's the shortest guy in the team wearing the biggest fins.
But we spoke about possibly changing the fins, but it's in the rules. You must run in the fins that you swam in. So he stayed true and wore these ridiculous fins on the sand, but he was able to get his legs right up and get a bit of speed with them, and he did very, very well.
Because I think Oe, who was our last runner, he also ran in yuccas, but there was a sneaky moment there where he tells us, I was just trying to stitch people up by wearing my Defins around. Oh, no, it was the DMCs, sorry. And I don't know. I don't know if he was trying to stitch people up or if he was just trying to get a leg up. But he went back and ran with the yuccas.
Sorry, just to clarify, Harry was wearing Defins, not yuccas. So two pairs of yuccas, one Defin, one LeBlanc.
Yeah, Harry's a big Defin guy, and Harry, of course, is from the Goldie Sliders, so they all love their Defins up there, and they all love their slide handboards as well. So Harry, definitely representing Defin for the Budgy Boys, but a very eclectic group of gear within the Budgy Boys.
Good gear.
Yeah, good gear. So talk me through the race, boys.
Well,
Well, you've got the winners.
We haven't talked about first
Oh,
place
and then
yet.
first place, obviously, the Cobras, which they ran miles ahead of everyone else. And I thought if the Cobras win the fin sprint, they've got it. The same way Hawaii won with winning the fin sprint in 2019 at Maroubra Beach. I'm like, the Cobras have got this.
They won by 30 metres.
Yeah.
They were well and truly in front of everyone else.
Could they run in LeBlancs?
Probably not, because they were all wearing DMCs.
They love their DMCs in
They
Avalon.
love their DMCs, and as Belly Slater would put it, should be illegal on the fin sprinting circuit. The performance-enhancing fins, but I mean, good on them. They didn't even win by just a little bit. They blitzed it.
Yeah, and it's because as that means the Fin Hawaii won by a lot, because if you win the fin sprint, there's some big points up for grabs.
Yes.
So the fact that Hawaii still managed to get first podium spot overall after coming third in the fin sprint, that's pretty crazy.
Yes, I think they had 0.1 added to that score for coming third.
Yeah. Which
Again, not that they needed it.
Not that
apparently not. So well done to the Cobras for taking out the fin sprint. Unfortunately, it didn't get you to that first place, but second place, you got to be proud of that. And then for some reason, the Budgy Boys under you. I still don't know. I would love to see a breakdown of the scores a bit later, but well done to the boys. Owie bringing it home with a huge dive. He overtook some people as well in that final leg. How long was it? 25 metres?
At least.
So 4 times 25 metres, and Owie probably dived 10 metres of that at the
Yeah.
end.
Now I've seen some footage of the race, and it was filmed on Daryl, one of the Budgy Boys' phones, and it gets to the point where it's that second last leg, and something must happen because he doesn't quite get the handover, and Owie's sitting at about 4th or 5th place at the time, and then by the time it comes back, he's into second.
He's flying.
And I don't know what's happened. Has someone dropped a plane? There must be a mistake somewhere.
Someone did drop a plane.
We know who dropped the plane, and I'm going to absolutely ruin this dog because some absolutely horrible behaviour at the after party from this guy. Like he was
this is fair.
carrying
This
on
is
like
fair.
an absolute muppet, like a fucking pelican, and this guy's just got to go. I'm so off this guy. Robbie Meldrum, who had the biggest fumble of all time in the history of not only fin sprinting, but in relay racing. I've never seen anyone drop a baton as bad as this.
And the thing is, he comes and he goes, "Oh, someone knocked it out of my hand." When you look back at the footage, there's not a soul near him.
And apparently Raf even covered that hand plane in wax before, just to really give it extra grip.
They were putting that sticky stuff on their hands like they do in the NRL. Oh, my goodness. So, Robbie Meldrum, after we were awarded third place, which has always gone to the ESB boys,
Pretty much.
he was devastated, I think. And no congratulations whatsoever. Just straight into, the ESB boys, we need to rebuild. We need to, get a coach in.
We've fired people.
We're firing. There's a mass cull. I'm like, mate, you're the fucking problem. You've got to go. I think he's got to be demoted to Maroubra, who did very well. Their first year, Maroubra, who is this new club, who Robbie Meldrum is a big part of.
Who Robbie would say is their feeder club.
Sure.
Did Maroubra beat ESBS?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
How did the Maroubra guys go?
Maroubra finished 11th.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
For your first, we came second last the first time we entered. The second time we entered, we came 9th.
Yep.
Which,
I'm pretty sure
It was equal 8th. We were tied.
right.
Oh, okay.
So, Maroubra are going to be climbing that ladder, hopefully, over the next few years.
Oh, for sure.
Unless
They
Robbie Meldrum joins them.
They have a young team.
Yeah.
Really young.
And people that are just frothers and always in the water. The thing about Maroubra is they created that club because the ESB guys were not getting in the water enough. So they wanted a club that was always swimming and more social. And I think that club's going to do very well because they've got the right mentality.
Should we go through some of the teams and where they finished?
Go for it, Wolfo.
Let's do it.
Start at the bottom.
Yeah.
So 13th place we had the clown heads of Bondi.
Yeah.
So they were sitting next to us on the beach. A couple of older surfers in that team.
Quite a few ladies in the team as
Very
well.
inexperienced. But they had a good time. They definitely had a good time.
Do we know how they got the name the Clown Heads yet?
No idea.
Yeah, okay.
I'll add it to my list.
Yeah, well, you find that out. Investigative
Maybe
journalism.
Robbie Meldrum should probably join the clown heads because that's the biggest clown walking around.
12th was Newcastle. So the guys from Newey, after the event that they had up at Flat Rock,
Yeah.
they've jumped in for the first time.
And there's a bloke on that team that's dead set OE in 10 years.
You talking about Fitzy?
I don't know who it is, but I looked over and was like, OE. Nope. That's some old bloke.
I thought it looked more like
He's not
me.
that old. He's not that old.
Did any of the Stocko boys ride for Newcastle? I didn't see any.
No.
Was John Watson in Newcastle?
Johnny
Great.
was,
yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I think the Stocko boys aren't big into the competition scene.
Nah.
They were like us a few years ago where we're going, we're just here for the beers.
Mate, they'll see us come third. They might want to come back and have a crack.
They think they could do better than us.
11th place, Maroubra. 10th, the Stealth Army, late
Oh,
inclusion.
yeah. And we should also mention, on the day, Stealth were handing out fins to everybody.
Every competitor. But I think a few others
Yeah.
may have snuck in there.
Shout out to Julio. He had a van with 200 fins in it, and he drove home with nothing.
How is that even possible? They're losing so much money. I know it's great promotion for the brand.
Oh, mate.
I had Belly going on the loudspeaker going, Stealth are giving away free fins, and here I am going, he's stitching us up.
Yeah.
There's no way. I look up, there was no one there. They weren't ready yet. But he kept going with it. Stealth giving away free fins. And they did.
And just thank you for your generosity. That was amazing.
Massively.
And
I think it's a new model. It's these super soft. So, yeah. It'd be interesting to see everyone's feedback on them.
Yeah, I haven't given them a
'Cause
crack yet, but
I ride Stealth fins, and I love them. So,
that'll be my next surf.
yeah.
As soon as I get back in the water, I'll be whacking those on and giving them a crack.
Okay, 9th place on debut, Northern Beaches.
yeah, so a new Northern Beaches team.
Yeah, so not the Northern Beaches Wampers. This is Northern Beaches Bodysurfers.
Yes. So a few old blokes in there.
Yeah, we got Rich Evans was surfing. He's probably like their headliner.
Yeah.
Um,
Jeremy Weiner
Jeremy
also
was
having
there.
a crack.
Yep.
And so it's not the boys that we're used to seeing from the north.
It wasn't Billy's old team.
Yeah, that's right.
8th place.
This one's big. This is big.
ESBS.
Huge. So
Eight.
I think every single year they've competed from day one for the last 4 or 5 Womp-Offs, and now the Australian Bodysurfing Classic, they've come third.
Just for clarification, from 3rd to 8th, there was 0.18
Yeah.
in the score.
We're not here for the maths, mate. We just want to...
No, it's just saying it's tight.
Put it this way: if we didn't get second in the fin sprint, we would be 8th.
Yeah, I know. You could...
Or if if Robbie didn't drop the baton and they came second, they would be 3rd, like they always are, but they're
Yeah.
not. So
That's why that baton drop was so big.
I think they drafted him into the team originally because he was a good fin sprinter.
yeah, they needed a bit of space, but I don't know.
Because as you can see as well, Wolfo, look at 1 and 2, their scores are massive.
Oh, they're way
And then our scores. Woo! So I'm not here about the math. I don't want to talk about numbers because it's too close to home. We could have so easily been in 9th place.
Look,
easy.
I would like to say that we didn't get any bonus points anywhere else. We didn't have any kids. We didn't have any females. And so we did most of this off our own backs.
That's right.
I don't think that's something to be proud of. Just a bunch of straight white guys having a go.
We didn't expect it, but we deserved it.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay, 6th and 7th, I'll put these two together. They were both the wildcard teams.
Yeah.
And one team was called Surfers for Climate. Belinda Baggs was one of the judges for the day. So that was the kind of team that she was repping. But they all did really well, all the wildcards. Good to see those extra teams flying in. I think we had people from WA.
Andre coming
Andre
up
came
from
up
Victoria.
From Wampa, yeah. Selling a few Wampers on the beach.
Ido came from Israel.
From Israel, yeah, had a good chat with Ido. And Jono from WA. Who did Jono ride with? One of the wildcard teams?
I believe so, yeah.
Jono gave me a hydro hand plane and the pro model, Ray Gills, and I just absolutely love this because I've got one already, but I haven't cracked it out of the packet. So now I've got one in mint condition, but I've also got one I can use in the surf. I also bought my partner Tess, who just recently got yellow DMCs. I bought her a yellow hydro pro model
Lovely.
hand plane. So we've got the whole kit and caboodle ready to go. So thank you, Jono from WA. You're an absolute legend. We'll get you on the podcast very soon.
Okay, 5th place, another team on debut, the Jez and Mad Dogs
From Gerringong.
from Gerringong. Really young team. Couple of young guys coming up. I think they're involved with the surf club. But
They all had mullets, yeah?
yeah, I think so.
They were looking very fresh on the beach.
Might have slowed them down in the surf, dragging behind. Now, when Ricky read out the scores, he went from 5 up, so we didn't know at the
Yeah,
time.
we didn't know where we'd finish. We had no idea.
Yeah.
No one had any idea from any event throughout the whole day where they finished. So when we heard that 4th place was the Bait Bay Body Bashers, we dropped our heads
My head hit the table.
because we thought, oh, they've got us.
That's what we said at the start of the day. All we want to do is beat Bait Bay. That's
Yeah.
it.
We're not going to win,
But we can beat Bait
but
Bay.
we can give it a crack.
Bait Bay were very happy with their 4th place result. That's the best they've done for a while.
They did really well.
And, I was watching them surf. They were very consistent. Nick Brabot said he felt a bit out of place out there. Hadn't been surfing that sort of stuff for a while. I saw a lot of them doing some very straight rides. A lot of spins in the wash. It looked very impressive. I'm just not sure if that scores.
There you go.
So, and again, a lot of, like, we were told from day one, you can't do that because we were riding straight for forever. So, yeah, judging is pretty strict. And I've definitely scored a few zeros when I thought they were decent waves. So, it'd be great to maybe chat to some of the judges and just work out what they're looking for. Peter Sperling was one of the judges, and he had some great insights. I think he would have been one of the most meticulous judges that the comp's ever seen. He took it very serious. He didn't miss a wave. He judged very fairly.
It's a judge's nightmare.
It is a hard
When you
job.
got-
Yeah.
7 teams out there at the same time. Some surfers are still catching multiple waves. There's drop-ins everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was,
Teams are swapping out people.
You're swapping people. Are they locking in that score? Are they staying out? It's
So well done
hats
to
off.
the judges,
Yeah, well
but
done.
also the spotters and
Yeah.
also Belly Slater on commentary. That really helped out with all that sort of stuff.
3rd place.
Well, here we go.
The Budgy Boys.
Now, I don't think we carried on as hard as we did when we were awarded 9th or 8th place in 2019.
Oh, no, we went pretty hard when we got 8th.
I think we were all in shock when we got 3rd.
In our first year, we went nuts knowing we beat the Goldie Sliders. They were 14th.
So, yeah, to come 3rd, because the Goldie Sliders then improved in 2019 and came 5th. So to get 3rd place after getting 8th or 9th in 2019, it's just incredible.
Still unbelievable.
I'm in shock. I'm not sure how we did it. I don't think we've properly carried on yet. So after this, I think we've got to go do something.
Where do we go from here, though? What can we get any better? I don't know. I think, have we climaxed?
Well, I
Have we
have announced, and I'll officially announce it on the podcast right here, right now. I am retiring from team events with the Budgy Boys. I'm very excited to spend more time with my friends and family and also to explore exciting new opportunities. Now, if you do need me, I might think about coming out of retirement, but I'm very keen to see the next generation of body surfers come up. Also, I'm never going to top that, so I'm happy to go out on top. I'll be interested in maybe doing some individual stuff, but I'm very excited to get more involved with the commentary and helping out in other ways with the body surfing community. I'm happy to be a coach. I'm happy to train the next generation.
Team manager.
I'm happy to surf every Saturday. I'm still going to be a huge part of the club. I'm just no longer going to be competing at events like the Australian Bodysurfing Classic.
You even got a tattoo.
I did. I got a Budgy Boy tattoo, which we always talked about. If we got 1st place, we were definitely getting a tattoo. Now, don't think we're going to be getting 1st place anytime soon. So I thought this was the best we're going to do. We said if we got 1st, we were going to get it on our butts. Jesse, you said you were going to get it on your knob if we got 1st place.
I think other people said that.
But because we got 3rd, I just got it on my ankle. I really love it. It looks great. Very happy with it. Very proud of it. Go the Budgy Boys.
Up the Budgy Boys.
Go the boys.
All right, let's go. 2nd and 1st.
2nd place, Avalon's The Cobras, sponsored by DMC Fins. They got some pretty good gear too.
Yeah, I asked if I could get some. They made it 10 years ago and they've just kept it
They
in
got
good condition.
These red hoodies. I was helping out with the registration desk and I looked up the Esplanade and it was the 10 competitors plus extras walking towards me, all wearing their matching red hoodies with the Cobra snake on the front, the DMC print on the back, and the bucket hats.
Surely there's a few Cobra tattoos going around.
Well, surely.
That's a cool tattoo, a Cobra. But yeah, these guys are big wave surfers.
Yeah.
They're on the shortboards every day. They're from Avalon, and some of them have even moved further down south, so down the south coast. So we're in contact with all of them and trying to get them on the Bodysurf. They're lovely, lovely guys.
I think Dylan Kelly was a standout surfing for them, and Lockie Rombouts as well, one of the big wave surfers from down south.
Yeah. It's hard when you're in the commentary box or even on the beach to spot who's surfing where. Some people do stand out more than others, but you're just seeing coloured rash shirts, coloured hats, and all day I just saw the Cobras. I think they were in what colour were they?
They were obviously wearing
they were in yellow. They were in yellow.
They were.
So they were in yellow, and I just saw yellow catching wave after wave all day, every day. They caught probably too many waves because you can only get scored on a couple.
Yeah.
But they didn't care because they just wanted to catch waves. They just wanted to keep trying harder and harder and harder, and they absolutely smashed it and very much deserved that second place. I think they could have been higher.
I think so.
I think they could have taken. This was the year for them. Unfortunately, they didn't do it, and no disrespect to Defin Hawaii, who absolutely smashed it and got first place. But if there was any day that the Cobras had a chance of knocking them off their perch, it was Australian Bodysurfing Classic 2022, 17th of September. So, Defin Hawaii in first place. How much did they win by, Wolfo?
0.5 something.
Yeah.
So that
We're not good at maths here.
Defin's average wave score was 8.43 out of 10.
So
Which is just insane.
Yeah.
Like-
But,
Wow.
they picked some good waves. They chose and selected. They only surfed what they needed to.
And Ki'ili scored a 10-point wave, but it didn't actually count because they'd already used up all of their waves. And so it could have even been higher.
Could have.
And as I said, they were doing tricks in the longest ride section. So these guys were just also having an amazing time, having a lot of fun. Probably the best surf conditions they've seen at Cronulla Beach.
Probably the best surf conditions I've seen at Cronulla Beach.
I think it was the best conditions we've seen for an ABC event.
Yeah, and considering the surf conditions that we were predicted, it actually was so much better than anything that we could have anticipated. Seeing that it was a northeast swell, Cronulla doesn't normally hit it. It swung east on the day, which was just perfect for us, which meant that those peeling right and left hands and Defin just used those to their advantage.
The homegrown advantage definitely helped us. We were pretty much in front of gate 21.
Yeah.
We were one gate up.
Yeah.
So close.
Mate, close the gate. Shut the gate.
Shut the gate.
Alrighty, so I wonder if the Hawaiians found it pretty chilly still in those. The water was still a bit cold. Most people wore wetsuits. A few people went in the sluggos. I think most of the Hawaiians were in springies.
It's the first time since winter that I've been in me budgies. I actually found it quite nice.
Yeah.
But I think it's that competition, that adrenaline that hits, that all of a sudden you don't feel the cold.
You know you're only surfing for 6 minutes and coming back in as well.
Yeah,
that's true. I don't have to stay out there for a long time.
Now, I used to work on a radio station, and I really love broadcasting, and it was such an honour to do some really fun stuff in the lead up to the Australian Bodysurf Classic, but we also got to broadcast on the day. After we did so well at the comp, I thought I might email the boys that I used to work with on the continuous call team, and they read out my email, and this is what happened.
By the way, I've just had an email through from Tim at Sutherland, and boys, it says, hello Mark, Big Man, David and Piggy. This is Tim, your old Saturday afternoon night continuous call team panel operator.
Oh, yeah,
before Willie Bottom knifed him and got his gig. He says, just getting in touch to let you know that yesterday at the Cronulla Beach, our body surf team, the Budgy Boys, came third at the Australian Bodysurfing Classic event. We were smashed by the Cobras from Avalon and Darfin from Hawaii, but still third place is not bad for a few blokes from the Shire just having a red-hot go. It was a great day, great weather, and some pretty good surf conditions. I even got to jump in the commentary box and show then what I learnt from all you boys as a panel up over the years at 2GB. Even though the Sharkies couldn't get up last night, at least the Budgy Boys could get the podium finish at the biggest team body surfing event in the world. Cheers, boys. Keep up the great work from Tim. Isn't that great?
I remember Tim doing do you remember him?
Yeah, the blonde-headed bloke.
Yeah, he was a surfy type.
Timmy.
Yeah.
He was with us on Saturday afternoons and Saturday nights. So well done to you, Tim, and the Budgy Boys. What do they say in surfing? I was in the green room. Yeah, just catching the barrels in the green room.
Well, how do they judge body surfing?
Well,
Well, you do
how
it
well you
prob-
surf with your
probably
body.
the same way they judged surf riding and all
No,
that.
and body surfing is...
Well, dare I say, they don't use the board, so they just body surf.
Yeah, that's right, and that's why I'm asking how they judge it.
Probably the same way they judge
How?
surfing,
No,
but without the board.
No. Is it on length? Is it on distance?
I beg your pardon, are we talking about surfing?
Yeah. Body surfing,
It's
yes.
style.
Well, let's remember the day that you suggested, my friend.
Body surfing on my back.
Body surfing on your back.
Oh, I
We-
don't
that's-
think it's silly.
That's right.
Lane Beachley
We had to
ring
get Lane Beachley to ring in and say it's impossible.
It's not impossible. Piggy, I'm gonna say this to you, Mark. I'm gonna come up with another thing.
Yeah.
Where I shock you with some of the statements I make and some of the stuff I just think of it on the run, and somehow I think it's funny and it's good. Nothing's impossible. It's another one. You can use that. Dial it in.
Did you just say nothing is impossible and then sniff, as if that's a statement?
And
Yeah.
then drop the spoon. Yeah, because it's good. There it goes again. The spoon.
And then the old, just dial that in.
What about his original one the other day? Patience is a virtue.
That's original. See, people don't even think of that.
He's
Hey,
lost it. Lost it. 8-4. Dragons lead the night.
So that was the boys from the continuous call team. Mark Levy, Daryl Broman, the big man, Mark Piggy Riddell, St. George great. Jesse's a big St. George fan. So,
Goal kicker and everything.
one of the best hookers of all time. So, and then also, didn't he play? He played number.
Front row.
Piggy played hooker.
Yeah, he played a bit of hooker.
right.
And then we also had David Morrow, one of the best rugby league callers ever. So great to get on 2GB and let them know. I don't think they had a clue who I was.
You're definitely not the blonde-haired surfy type.
Do you know who used to also panel 2GB was Reedy from the Bondi Rescue guys.
Yeah.
So maybe they're getting me mixed up with Reedy. But Reedy's not much of a body surfer.
Could that be the Budgy Boys slogan now? Nothing is impossible.
I think we've got a few better slogans.
We love a good slogan. We've had a few over the years. Just here for the beers. First in friendship. Nothing's impossible. Why not add it to the list?
Yeah, why not?
Now, I think it's time to almost wrap things up and start to carry on. So I would like to get your final words, boys. Any last comments that you'd like to just let the audience in on before we wrap things up? Because this might be your last chance to have a bit of a brag, to have a bit of a carry on, and to have a bit of a laugh. Because I don't think we'll be able to mention coming third at the Australian Bodysurfing Classic in 2022 for much longer. So, Wolfer, I'll hand it over to you first. Any last comments?
Well, you can speak for yourself because I'm going to be telling everyone at every opportunity. No, it was just really good to see everyone all together. It's been a while since all the teams have been in one place at one time. So, yeah, I'm just stoked that the community's kind of back as one. Haven't done it for a long time, and yeah, it's sick to have a good day.
And I want to give a shout out. One person we haven't mentioned on this podcast today is Matthew Bond. You're only as good as your worst surfer, they say. And so he's improved drastically. He can claim that he is better than Robbie Meldrum, that he's better than the Barrel Pig, that he's better than Paul Cador. He's got their number. And so well done, Bondi, for getting a wave this year at the Australian Bodysurfing Classic.
Absolutely. And I just want to have a one last big old shout out to Joel, to Dan, to Daryl for coming in and absolutely shredding, and of course Harry, one of the best body surfers I think that we were able to recruit, and I think it made the day so much better to have these new faces in our team, to have people that we had heard whispers about that these guys shred, and to get them in the team. We've always had wild cards, we've always had little sneaky recruits, and it's made our team so much stronger, and those four boys definitely won it for us.
I think now they can be considered lifelong members of the Budgy Boys.
Honorary.
You're always welcome back. More than honorary. Bring them in.
They're part
They're
of
here
they're
to
part of
stay.
the team for sure. And our captain, Matthew Owie O'Donnell, co-host of the Bodysurf podcast and captain of the Budgy Boys. This has been a dream of his ever since he went down to Wompoff with you in 2000 and maybe 15?
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It was 2017. I think.
Okay.
I think it was the second one
Yes.
that ever happened. And I remember me and Owie being there, and we didn't even know hand planes existed at the time. But we looked at it and we went, we can do this. And that was the inception of the Budgy Boys. That's literally how it started at a Wompoff 5 years ago. And here we are 5 years later, sitting in third place. And we can say, we did it. We bloody did it.
We did it, boys. Up the Budgy Boys, the boys in the blue and the pink. We got to get out of here. Do it all again real soon. But remember,
It's always overhead.
When you're body surfing.
bye.
You.